Would it be valuable to you if you could transform your goals into reality? Like whatever those goals might be. Maybe it's customers packed around the building, eager to buy your offer.
Or maybe it's prioritizing time with your family by renting a beautiful house right by the beach in the south of Spain for a couple of months, like I'm doing.
Or perhaps you're moving into your dream home with an exclusive spa room and an amazing garden for your kids to play in, like I did. Now, today's episode is going to be a true game changer because today we'll be diving deep into the realms of success, mindset, and the untapped potential within us all. So get ready to explore the magic of manifestations and how they can transform your target goals into reality. I'm awesome Angie Ingstrom, honoring the awesomeness in you.
And I'm GITTE. Okay, so let's talk about goals. Personally, I like to make target goals not only for my business, but also for my family life and for myself personally. And every time I do it, it really gets me all excited. You know that feeling when you just can't wait to get started? You're feeling all tingly and excited. Have you ever felt that way when you're making new target goals? Like you just can't wait to get started on realizing those goals? Exactly. And that's the way you should be feeling when you're making new business goals.
Yeah, I know that feeling. The thing is that as entrepreneurs, setting target goals should be like second nature to us. And setting target goals and getting excited about them are the easy parts for most of us. But have you ever experienced a bit of struggle when it comes to realizing some of your target goals? Well, no worries, we've got you. We've been there. And like, I remember when I first started my business, I didn't exactly make my first $1 million the first year. Perhaps you also struggle a little more with making your first $1 million, or perhaps you're still trying to make your first $1 million. But there's one thing I've learned in my many years as an entrepreneur is to keep believing and never give up.
Exactly. That is so important. You know, it's like when your children were babies. I remember when my daughter was a cute little baby girl just learning to walk. And she would fall a lot in the beginning when she was trying to take those first steps. Like, do you remember how your children, if you have children, how they would fall? They would fall a lot in the beginning, but in spite of them keeping on falling, they would get up time and time again and just keep trying, eventually learning to walk. Those kids, they keep going and they never give up. And that's exactly what we should be doing as entrepreneurs. We need to keep believing and never give up if we want to achieve our target goals, just like the babies learning to walk.
So true, Geety. Somehow, as we grow up as into adults, we we lose sight of our childlike nature that we were born into this world with. Which some of that's good, some of that's bad, like whatever. But
Hmm.
wouldn't it be awesome if you could somehow amplify the power of your target goals, bringing them to life in ways that you never even imagined? And that's what we'll be talking about in this episode because we're talking about the art of manifestations. And another way to look at manifestations is like a pathway to unlock the invisible forces that shape our reality. Like in our daily lives, what we see sometimes to us to be undeniably real, it's reality, but unfortunately, that's often also including a lot of limitations. But that isn't the entire truth because behind this is an unseen layer, a realm of infinite possibilities that holds the true essence of our desire. And this is even more true and more real than what we're physically seeing. Now, what if you could figure out how to get those invisible things into the physical world and loose those limitations? Wouldn't that be pretty great? Like you have incredible desires and dreams, and people you want to impact and things you want to acquire and do.
Mm, so awesome, Angie. And you know, the great thing about it is that it's actually very doable because manifestations, they actually provide us with the keys to bridge this invisible layer with our physical reality. Okay, so let's talk about how to do it. Now, what you want to do is to start by trying to picture your dreams and your desires. Just take a second to try to picture it. Just think about all the people you want to impact and the things you want to accomplish in your life, both professionally but also personally. Now, can you imagine turning those dreams, desires, and impact goals into tangible real world outcomes? To make it a lot easier for you, we're going to be sharing our secret formula for creating manifestations. So listen up, because this is a three-step process for creating manifestations.
All right, let's go. The first step is becoming crystal clear and specific on exactly what you want. And let me give you an example. It could be a sales goal. Maybe you need 30,000 in extra income this month because you're planning a special luxurious holiday with your family, or maybe you need the money for a down payment on a new car.
Or maybe because you want to help out your parents.
Yeah, great suggestion. Great suggestion, Geety. Whatever the reason, it's just starting by picturing the goal vividly. Like whatever that goal is, can you form an image in your mind, like a little movie inside your brain, and then feel the excitement as you declare, like for example, like thank you God or universe or whatever you believe in, that I'll have the $30,000 in extra unexpected income so that my family and I can go on this special trip to Europe that we've been wanting to go to, or whatever it is that you want to spend that 30,000 on. Just let your imagination soar.
hmm And just keep believing and just never give up. Okay, so the first step is picturing your target goals as vividly as possible. And the second step is to speak it into existence. A great way to do that is to frame your goals using present tense language by using words like I have or I am. And an example of this could be I am confidently closing all my sales calls. Now, just watch as your words simply shape the reality you desire by using manifestations. And the last step is feeling it. To do that, you need to create the feeling in your body and in your mind like you've already acquired what you're asking for. You know, Jesus, he said it like this: you can pray for anything. And if you believe that you've received it, it will be yours. So powerful, right? So you want to create the feeling in your body and in your mind like you've already got it.
Yes, believing and never giving up, just standing firm in that belief. It's so important.
hmm
The point is that the magic happens when you immerse yourself in the feeling of having already achieved your goals, that receptive mode, like you know for certain it's coming. Why? Because the brain can't distinguish between vivid imagination and reality. Therefore, you need to intensify those vibrations and watch as your dreams simply materialize.
hmm Okay, so let's recap the three steps. Number one is picturing your target goals as vividly as possible. Number two is speaking it into existence using present tense, for example. And the last one is feeling it in your body and also in your mind like you've already got it. You just keep believing and never give up.
Personally, I've used manifestations a lot. So would it be okay if I share an example?
Absolutely, that would be awesome. Thanks, Angie.
I actually have a lot of examples, but let me share my favorite one. And it concerns our present house, the house we live in right now. And before we bought this house, my husband, my son, and I knew exactly what we wanted in the new house, where the location would be, like just not exact, but rough enough where we had a list of things that we wanted in this new house, and we even put some pictures up, and um, we just tried to imagine what it would feel like in this new house, and just every room, like the garden, the views, just as vividly as possible. And for example, like I wanted a spa room. This is what I called it, is my spa room. I knew exactly what I wanted it to look like. It was just it was just a picture in my head. And I had all the details, in my brain, and I visualize that. This is one of my superpowers. I will say that does not come easy for everyone. For me, it's probably part of my background or nature, or I don't know. I've grabbed onto that part of my childhood and kept on it pretty good. I don't know. But to put it simply, we basically dreamed this house into existence that we live in now. And because out of the blue, like my husband came home and he said, "I think I found our house." The most amazing thing about it was that it had everything that we wanted. It had everything that we were talking about. My wishes, my husband's wishes, our son's wishes, and it was actually the house that we were talking about. And my husband just happened to stumble on it almost by accident, and it had all the details. It was just the craziest thing, and it actually never dawned on me until we actually moved in, and it just one day I'm like, "Wait a minute, this is exactly what we were all talking about." It was just amazing. It was just absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's just an amazing story. I think it's so inspiring. And the power manifestation, it is great. It's really great. So thanks again for sharing, Angie. And what was also inspiring to me, at least, was that it shows the manifestation, the true catalyst for rapid change. It can go really, really fast when you use manifestations. Now, the laws of manifestation are always in effect and they're working in our favor, but you need to wholeheartedly believe in them. So, as you start to use manifestations, you should get prepared for things to unfold quicker than you could have ever imagined, actually, just like Angie's house. And remember, the power of manifestation lies within you, it's within all of us, actually. Just keep manifesting your dreams until they become reality. Just like Angie did with her dream house, you just have to keep believing and never give up.
Yes, keep believing and never give up. And I think another quick thing on that story with our house is I wasn't like so locked in on like all these specific details. You can adjust that however it works for you. We had a lot of flexibility in what we wanted, but we had some very specific things that we wanted. It wasn't even something we would consider unless it had these very specific things, and it was just so amazing that it had all those things. Like, I honestly didn't know it existed. I was like, "Do we have to build this thing or what?" It was just truly amazing. So just keep believing, never give up. Thanks for listening, everyone. Keep your momentum, keep moving forward. And if you happen to be a course creator or a business owner or an influencer, and you're spending too much time selling one on one, and you are ready to condense time and sell one to many, then open up a browser, a tab on your browser, and go to elitevirtualstages.com/report and learn how you can turn your expertise into 6 or 7 figure days. Yeah, you heard me right. 6 or 7 figure days using live transformational virtual masterclasses.